book that I'm going to read today is called Winking, Blinking, Wiggling, and Waggling. It's written by Brian Moses. Just look at the fox and the tiger and the elephant and this owl right here. We're going to be talking about eyes. Eyes are for looking, seeing, and staring. Eyes are for watching, gazing, and glaring. Just look at that eagle and this here cat. Eyes are for squinting and winkling and blinking. Eyes are for praying, spying, and spotting. Eyes are for peeking, peeping, and sleeping. Zzz. That fox is really sleeping good, isn't he? That, I think, is a vulture and not an eagle. He's got big eyes, though, too. Whose eyes are these? He sleeps by day and hunts by night. He's loud, hoo, hoo, and gives mice a fright. This sea creature is cleverer than you think. He hides from enemies by firing black ink. Just look at that eye. He stretches his neck to the top of a tree and eats all the leaves that he can see. She lies very still. She could be asleep, but if birds come close, just watch her leap. Were you right? Let's turn the page. It was the owl, and the giraffe, and the cat. Some animals see better than we do. An owl's huge eyes help him to hunt for food in low light. So if it's not real dark, he can hunt for food. A squid needs to see in deep, dark water. Giraffes have very good eyesight and can see long distances. A cat sees about 6 times as well as we do at night. A cat's eyes shine at night because mirror-like parts in the cat's eyes reflect light. Many animals have mirror-like parts in their eyes to help them see in low light, and the cat is one of them. Mom says I haven't got eyes in the back of my head, but a jumping spider has 8 eyes all around her head. Just look at that spider. She has 2 large eyes that look forward. Her other 6 eyes are smaller and look to her back and sides. 4-eyed fish live near the surface of water. Their eyes are divided in 2 so they can see enemies in the air, in the water at the same time. So they can see in the air and the water at the same time. That's interesting. And just look at that fish. I guess it's called the 4-eyed fish. A horsefly can see in every direction because a fly's eyes are made up of hundreds of tiny parts. Eyes like this are called compound eyes. This is why it is so hard to swat a fly. He can see you coming from every direction. Once in a while we can get that fly killed. Dad says, watch out, I've got my eye on you. But if that vulture has his eye on a sick animal, it had better watch out. Vultures feed on dead animals and can spot a sick sick animal far away. Birds of prey like vultures have the keenest eyesight of all birds. Toddlers wake up at night. Their large eyes help them to spot danger in the rainforest after dark. They can also turn their heads almost a full circle to keep a lookout for enemies. Mom says, watch where you're going. But a mole has tiny eyes and can't really see where he's going. Just look at that. Mole. Moles spend most of their time digging underground, so they don't need big eyes. See, their homes are in, and right here is the path, and it goes into the homes right there. Earthworms have no eyes at all. They live underground. If they come above ground, their other senses tell them if there is a movement nearby. Then they hide quickly in case an enemy is coming. Larder for later. Moles find worms to eat by smelling and touching. Sometimes they store the worms in a mole larder and eat them later. The larder is like a home that they dug in, like I showed you over here. Dad says, don't throw things. You'll knock someone's eye out. But snails don't have to worry about their eyes. Snails have their eyes on the ends of long stalks. If a snail senses danger, he pulls the stalks inside his head. See the stalks there and over here? An extra eyelid. Birds of prey, such as this eagle, have a layer of clear skin that flicks over their eyes to clean and protect them. A camel's eyes are protected too. She has 2 rows of eyelashes to keep out the desert sun and the glare of the sun. Just look at that camel. Ears are for hearing, harking, and heeding. Ears are for listening, snooping, and sneaking. Ears are for washing, wiggling, and waggling. Ears are for prickling up, picking up, and tuning in. Ears are for flapping, but not for flying. Whose ears are these? Who do you think those ears are? She has a long furry tail and dainty feet. At night she goes looking for something to eat. She lives in a burrow under the ground. He lives in a burrow under the ground. He hops away if he hears a sound. She's a bit like a monkey. She's a bit like a bear. She's a bit like a baby with her wide-eyed stare. He's orange and black and hunts at night. His open mouth is a scary sight. Were you right? Let's see what he is. Turn the page. I would say that's a mouse or a rabbit. Many animals can hear much better than we can. A mouse has large ears so she can sense danger nearby. A rabbit can hear when an enemy is creeping up behind him. A bush baby's ears help her to hear the insects she hunts at night. Just look at her, she's little, but she still hunts at night. A tiger hunts at dusk or at night and can hear small animals rustling in the grass. Keep an eye on your ears. Tigers have white spots on the backs of their ears. People think that these help cubs keep track of their mothers in the dense jungle. That might be the case. Just look at those white spots. Mom says, don't mumble. I can't hear a word you're saying. But many animals can hear sounds that are outside our hearing range. We can't hear the high sound of a dog whistle, but a dog can. Bats catch insects by making high squeaks that we can't hear. Their squeaks bounce off insects and come back as echoes. A bat can then figure out how far away an insect is. So when these insects are caught, the bat eats them. They eat lots and lots of insects. Their squeaks bounce off insects and come back as echoes. A bat can figure out how far away an insect is. I read that again. Whale talk. Whales talk by making sounds called songs. We can't hear them from far away, but whales hear each other call for hundreds of miles away. Dad says, can you wiggle your ears? Not many people can do that, but foxes can wiggle their ears. They turn them to hear where a sound is coming from. Worm alert. A fox's hearing is so good that he can catch worms by listening for the rustling of their bristles on the grass. Rhinos also turn their large ears to pick up sounds. Kangaroos do this too. They can turn their ears in the exact direction that they need to go. Just look at that. The kangaroo, the fox, the rhino, they all have good long ears. Mom says, listen when I'm talking to you. You've got ears, haven't you? But some creatures don't seem to have ears at all. Bird ears are two small holes in the side of their heads, which are covered by feathers. Fish have ears inside their skulls. Snakes don't have outer ears. They are deaf to most sounds, but they can pick up footsteps and other vibrations from the ground. See, their ears are right about here, and it's covered up with those feathers. Frog ears. Frogs and toads have large, flat eardrums just behind their eyes. They need good hearing to listen out for enemies. Dad says I'm all ears, but some animals really are. A fennec fox hears the tiniest sound with his huge ears. Air blowing over his ears also cools his blood, which keeps him cool in the desert. Each of an African elephant ears can be between 5.5 feet to 1.7 meters across. She flaps her ears to cool down. Just think of that. Each of these African elephant's ears can be 5.5 feet, which is 1.7 meters across. And then she flaps her ears to cool down because she gets hot too. Animals with such amazing ears never forget to wash behind them, even if you forget to wash behind yours. Starfish have a very simple type of eye on the tip of each arm. Dragonflies have the biggest eyes of any insect. They have up to 40,000 lenses in each eye. The chameleon is able to look in two directions at once. The 56-foot 17-meter giant squid has the biggest eyes of any creature. They can be up to 16 inches, 40 centimeters wide. A fox lays her ears flat if she isn't going to attack. When her ears are up, she's ready to pounce. When swimming, crocodiles are able to close their ears to keep water out. An animal's ears are lined with fur to keep out blowing sand. That's camel's ears. A grasshopper's ears are under his wings. That's interesting about the eyes and the ears today. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that. And you have a good day, and God bless.